I don't read enough. Well, the truth is, I read a lot, but it's usually subtitles, not books or comics or mangas, which is what most people would consider to be reading. People don't really tend to consider reading subtitles as actually reading, even though it kind of is. I'm opening a whole different can of worms. This is not what this video is about. But it's a shame, actually, that I don't read very much, because my uncle was a first-generation weeb, and when he got married, he left me all of his manga and anime, and a katana, and figurines that at that time, 13-year-old boy probably should not be allowed to have. Reading manga and comics was something I would do very often in my later childhood, even a decent amount in my earlier young adulthood, but honestly, I never do it anymore. It's not that I don't like reading, it's just been a long time since something has caught my interest long enough for me to consider actually, reading it or buying a volume, whether it's online or IRL. In comes Ruri Dragon. If you don't know what Ruri Dragon is, let me enlighten you. This is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Masaoki Shindo. I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. It was originally a one-shot that was later serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump. The manga follows a young girl as she begins to develop physical and mystical tendencies akin to the kind of things you'd expect from dragons, hence the dragon half the title. It is, however, extremely wholesome. The art is very nice, very clean, very well done. It's the kind of thing that you could show off to a non-weeb friend, and it genuinely wouldn't put them off. There aren't a lot of things that people like me read that can do that. Sadly, however, the series rests short at just 6 volumes, resulting in only one single tankobon. The series has also been put on an indefinite hiatus due to the author Shindo's health. Despite the indefinite hiatus, however, this short but sweet series has gone on to become a pretty major league contender, selling an assload of copies. As of last October, Ruri Dragon has over 200,000 copies in circulation, selling over 74,000 copies of the first volume in just the first week of its release. So it's pretty safe to say that a lot of people love the series so far, me included among them. It was genuinely nice to just spend a bit of a few days reading through a chapter or two. A quick little synopsis to get you guys interested. The series starts off with our protag Ruri waking up to find out that she has suddenly and inexplicably grown horns. Her mother informs her that her father was a dragon, meaning she is a crossbreed, and she begins to develop a slew of other strange abilities, including but not limited to breathing fire and having dragon eyes. We then get to follow her through her daily life as she discovers more about her strange father, new powers, how she comes to terms with it all. And what can I say? It's a very relaxing and a very wholesome read. Very nonchalant. It doesn't try to take itself too seriously. It's the kind of thing that I really actually do enjoy. You bet your ass I'm going to be supporting the series. For now though, however, we can only hope that Shindo's health improves and cheer him on. His physical health is very important, and as someone who has been dealing with constant life-changing health problems for the past 2 years, I understand just how hard it can be being extremely passionate about something but being held back and limited by something that is completely out of control. So, Shindo-san, please take care of yourself. The chapter-to-chapter things that they get into during the series are all, when I say this series is relaxed, I mean relaxed. I mean, the most anxious part of any of it is going to a Starbucks. And I'm not shitting you. I'm not oversimplifying it. It is legitimately going to a Starbucks.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Do not talk to me, phone, watch, thing, creature. And while I am a very big fan of my broad-spanning, deep and complicated epic fantasies, I am also a very big fan of simple, clean, refreshing slice of life. Especially when I'm in a hard place in my own life. Sometimes it's nice to just not have major problems. Not everything needs to be whole world ending. It is nice to sit down and read through multiple chapters of a series and not hate a character. It has very quickly become a comfort to me, which is why it kind of sucks that it's on hiatus, but also most good things take time. And it's going to be really hard for Shindo to make any more volumes if he dies. So it's probably very important that he takes care of himself physically, mentally, and everything in between. I don't think that this series is going to drop its support just because it goes a while without any new updates. Like I said, I don't read a lot. I really should more. And I don't really have a list of stuff that I want to read. I've been reading a little bit through the start of Mushoku Tensei. I'm trying to pick back up one of my favorite series that I've ever read, which was Negima. And I really want to emphasize that I really like the art style of this. And when I say I'm going to support the series, I genuinely mean it. I'm buying the first book. They're the best way to support anybody ever in any art medium is money. It's why usually when I like a series enough, I don't pirate it or go through some weird side website to like I'm gonna be 100% honest. It is so easy to read manga and books for free when you shouldn't be able to, and it is so easy to watch shows for free when you shouldn't be able to. Like it is so easy. And in a lot of cases, shows aren't worth actually spending the money on, so it makes sense to use it. But in the rare case where something comes along that is genuinely good that you enjoy, it's usually a good idea to support it, you know? If you guys have any suggestions, whether it's a show or a book or a manga or a comic, tell me about it. Like I said, I want to read more often. Reading is a good thing to do. It is a very good exercise for your brain, and especially when you have a lot of idle time, even just spending a little bit of it reading can do wonders for both your mental health and your actual mental ability. And I've been neglecting that part of my head. Trust me. I've been doing nothing but watching shows and playing video games, baby. If the people in the early 2000s who were screaming that video games will rot your brain were right, I'd be dead. I'd be off in some alleyway, currently completely catatonic. Thank God all those early 2000s whack jobs are a bunch of idiots, am I right? But that's all for now. Give me your suggestions on stuff to read. I'm genuinely asking for suggestions. I want to read stuff. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more. No announcements to make. So without further ado, I'm Phantom, and I'll catch you later.